Welcome to the reading. If this reading found you, then there's a message here for you, or perhaps someone you know. You have found the exit. Before I start with the cards, I was channeling a few numbers. And before I start with the numbers, I just want to, make a little disclaimer, I guess. I was asked by a friend first of all, how I was able to get these numbers so many times when they only happen twice on a clock in 24 hours. And so I explained I channeled them from more than just clocks, anywhere there's numbers, really. And I get so many a day that I don't want to do 20 minutes of just angel numbers. So I only list, like five or six, and then the next kind of overflow into the next day and the next day and the next day. So there you go. All right. So the first number I was channeling is 456, and I got it 13 times, and it means besides growth, balance and divine guidance, and it's also a reminder you're on the right path, and the changes you're experiencing are necessary for your personal growth and spiritual evolution. Okay. I also got 606, and I got it 10 times. And it's a sign you've been through tough times, but this too shall pass. Okay. And I'm hearing something, so I'll say it. It's like Murphy's Law. As soon as you start packing an umbrella, the rain will stop. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I also got 303 10 times, and it can represent personal growth, forgiveness, and inner peace. I also got 555 18 times, so it's kind of a doozy. And besides transformation, which I'm getting is like permanent change, radical permanent change. I also got freedom, and this change is making you unrecognizable. Okay. All right. So I also got 414 14 times, which is kind of interesting. And I get from that, it's a sense of security and stability before and after a new beginning. Okay, and that's just my personal interpretation of it. Okay, and I also got 646 18 times, another doozy. And for me, it represents stable relationships, security, and abundance. Okay? All right, so the first song that I was channeling is, I don't know if anyone will recognize this one, but it's I Got a Man by Positive K. And the part I was hearing was, I got a man. What's your man got to do with me? I got a man. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Okay, so at the time it came to me, I was actually remembering shortly after I had gotten my cat, Sham. He was still like a kitten, like 11 weeks. And my ex had stopped by and was meeting him for the first time. And he said something like, "Oh, now you don't need a man, do you?" And then I was thinking, as I was remembering, no, I got a man, because Sham is a boy. Okay, so now what's interesting is I was meditating on these numbers, and I pulled the cards yesterday for today's reading. And then this morning I woke up with Wanted Dead or Alive by John Bon Jovi playing in my head, which I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, so I'm including it here. So we shall see how it all fits. All right. First card we have is the Fairy Ink Cap with Subtlety. Funny. Funny business here. Okay. We have the LARPer, which is a live action role player in reverse. That's interesting. Okay. I also got menace. All right. Interesting. We have motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. And that's in reverse. Okay. Okay, so what's interesting is I was checking the camera to see if you could see this card. And right as I looked, I saw 616. And then this card is number 6. And my birthday is on the 6th of next month, so of April. So interesting little parallel there. We have grounding. Okay. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Love to see it. Oh, cool. We have the 7 of Cups reversed. This is all good news. And we have the Queen of Wands and her little cat. Kind of looks like Sham. And we have Aurora. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and start up here. Okay. What's interesting about the fairy ink cap is it's edible, but fragile and insubstantial, which is kind of funny because insubstantial can mean lacking strength or solidity, or it can mean not solid or real, as in imaginary, like this. Okay. Okay. Yet I digress. Okay, so with this being reversed, I get this character who's, like, what's your man got to do with me? Moved much like a steamroller in an attempt to bulldoze through your boundaries. Okay. I also get the sense they may have come off a bit melodramatic, because the book actually says when they're touched, they collapse in an absolutely stunning display if you come across them. And of course, I hear if you cross them or set boundaries with them. Okay, so interesting. And I do love how the cards sync up. Okay, so I gather from this LARPer being reversed that this was not, okay, I'm getting main character energy, insubstantial, if you will. I'm hearing they overplayed their part, like an extra in your story. Okay, this is very interesting. They may have even tried to come off as a lead, or like a soulmate energy. I'm hearing twin flame perhaps. So, but I'm also hearing they didn't have the chops for it. Okay, chops as in strength, endurance. Interesting. Okay. Um, Now, okay, so in other words, this game or role they played may have been fleeting. Okay. Yeah, they didn't have the endurance. Okay, so moving along. Okay, so right away, I'm picturing the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Funny flashbacks here. Okay, so they may have tried to pose a threat to your growth, your motivation, um, or stability. Uh, they're 414, might have tried to throw you off balance, 456. Um, okay, but I get the feeling you can see through the act and regard them basically as nothing more than a nuisance. Okay. Um, okay. Um, I'm hearing they were more like a thorn in your side than a poison dart, which they were trying to come off as. Um, okay. Interesting. Okay, so with the motivation reversed, um, I'm hearing wanted dead or alive again. Okay, so on a steel horse you ride. Uh, okay, what I get kind of from that is motorcycles don't require a whole lot of gas, and you're not like on a real horse that you have to feed and water and give rest to. Um, okay, so they saw the steel horse on which you ride, and they saw you were destined for great things. And I'm hearing they wanted to siphon your gas or distract you from your path. Um, Now I'm hearing they wanted to, like, they wanted to drink your blood. No, they were like an energy vampire that they wanted to, like, suck the peace and happiness from you, because that's what keeps you going. Interesting cards. Interesting read. Okay, so with this card, the book literally says, literally, and I'm using this term very fittingly, it says, and I quote, circumstances have affected your energy. Okay. So, first thing, okay. So, if you find yourself scatterbrained, like forgetting little things, or I'm like where your keys are at, or if you're like in the middle of doing something and forget what you're doing, it's definitely time to reconnect with your body and with the earth. And you can do this through breathing exercises, moving your body, dance. Sometimes when I'm uh, not in a dancing mood, but I need to ground, I'll just stomp. I'll stomp my feet, not if you're upstairs in an apartment, but like on the earth, on the ground, or drumming. Okay, so, or even just getting in touch with nature, putting your hands or your feet in some dirt, okay, or sand. Um, but more than all of that, I see this grounding more as a reminder that you are a very incredibly powerful manifester right now. And I get that because of these cards here. Um, and okay, so first of all, um, you have managed to, from what I'm getting from the song, uh, wow, I don't know what the term is, but it's like a broken record. Um, like every time he'd say, "What's your man got to do with me?" She'd say, "I got a man." um, and I get from setting these boundaries, you've managed to pull yourself out of spiritual and or financial poverty, and you've grown. Okay, there's a number coming through, 606. You've been through hard times, you've been out in the cold, and you have pulled yourself up out of the muck. And 456, these experiences were necessary for your growth and your spiritual evolution. Okay. And these experiences have, okay, allowed you to see beyond the illusion, the act, if you will, for what's actually going on. Okay, it seems pretty simply put there. Okay, so I'm getting, yeah, you pulled yourself up and out of the muck, out of the blizzard, and things have become very clear. And your boundaries, I'm getting, have become very clear. And you don't feel the need to overly explain, like, this is why, this is how, this is, to like pussyfoot around people's feelings. You're like, forget it. I get my messages from divine, channeled straight from source, just like here. And you're grounding them into the 3D, right? And I'm getting that all of this has made you very attractive, to possibly lower vibrating energies, that want to pull you down into the muck again, so they have some company. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'm hearing wanted, dead or alive again. Interesting. So you're very attractive, like a very strong magnet right now. And I'm actually picturing one of those magnets that picks up cars because the steel horse, okay? And it picks up all types of magnetic metals. It so use your discernment because you have it. It's right here in the cards, and sort through what you're picking up. Okay. Because a lot of energies are being drawn to you right now. Okay. Yeah, and you are flying high right now. Whether you feel that way or not, which I kind of gather that you do. If this message is for you, if it's not, send it to whoever is, more fitting with the message. But it threatens other people how attracted they are to you. Okay, so, and I'm hearing, I got a man again, because you're not descending, you're not regressing for these other energies, and I don't know whether or not they will become inspired by your example is really not your problem. I mean, honestly, that's their path to walk, and you're not responsible for it. So, fly high, Aurora. You are a beautiful, bright star. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from these cards is the star, actually. Um, and you've got X-ray vision on these role players and the games that they're playing. And it's not like they were very subtle about it, right? um, okay, so was that it, Spirit? That felt like it flew by. But yeah, I am kind of getting that. It's all been said. So I hope this message reaches who it's meant for, and you can use it as confirmation or encouragement, or a reminder. And if you like the way I read, I so appreciate the love, the support you guys give with the comments and the shares and subscribes and all the likes. It really warms my heart with the love you guys show. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.